You know it's getting bad when MSNBC criticizes Joe Biden. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about MSNBC flaming Joe Biden over his age. Not once, but at least on two different occasions they have done this. Now, there was a video from about 2 weeks ago highlighting him joking about his age. We'll get to that in a little bit. But the most recent thing came from Mika and Joe, where she is flaming him, but also really kind of blaming the staff for not doing things to protect this guy. He's 1 million plus years old, and you got to understand he's not able to do certain things the way that a much younger person would do. So the staff is to blame for not handling things properly. Now, before we go any further, let's go ahead and get into the clip. If you want to see it in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
They also managed a schedule very carefully.
Yeah, I think his staff needs to own his age. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think they do a good job helping out the president. And I'm not talking about it like, I'm just saying if you are managing a president's schedule and you are managing a president getting on stage and getting off stage and getting on planes and getting off plane, and yes, he's 80.
That should be the core thing right there. He's 80 years old. So how much can the staff really do? What can they really, like Weekend at Bernie's? Do y'all want him to go out there? Do y'all want him to go out there as a puppet, literally being strung by his handlers? Is that what y'all want? I suppose so. Let's keep on going.
You need to be there for him, and you need to make a pathway. And you sure as hell better make sure he doesn't fall on a sandbag. And I blame the staff for that. I mean, these are the things that are going to hurt him. These are things that are going to be played on a loop. Okay? Let him do his job. Let him do his speeches. Let him work on policy. Let him do his connections in Congress, unlike any president that we've seen.
Really? I mean, come on. I understand you guys at MSNBC. This is part of your job to support whoever the Democratic person is in office. But let's be serious. Joe Biden does nothing. Joe Biden doesn't even know where he is half the time. You think that he's so good of a policy guy? What has he done in the 50 years of being in politics as senator, vice president, now president? You tell me, aside from the crime bill, which is a different story, and I digress.
I don't know, since Clinton. But my God, make sure, your Secret Service, you're his staff, that you were there and you're telling him what's next. And
That's interesting. So he's better than Barack Obama anyway.
Not because don't take this as, oh, he can't even get from one place to another. When you're busy and you're on stage, and we've been on stage,
right.
I've done speeches, and I'm so nervous. I'm doing the speech. I'm trying to get it right. And when it's done, I don't know which way to go. And I'm looking for direction. So do a better job. Because you can't have these video images of the president tripping or the president like going the wrong way. It's not going to work in this presidency because his age is going to be a factor. His age is going to be a factor, and it's your job to make sure he gets from one place to another. He can handle the presidency. You have to handle his schedule and where he goes.
Well, I think that the staff are trying to handle everything, including where he's able to go from point A to point B, what he says on stage. I've seen some of the cue cards where everything will be laid out. Okay, we're going to call on this reporter from this place, and here's the question, here's the answer. Everything's already scripted. They got a fake White House across the street from the real White House. Everything is being done for this guy behind the scenes, but at a certain point, you can't hide the fact that he's 80 years old and looks and talks and acts and walks every bit of that 80 plus some. What are you really going to do about that? The staff cannot inhabit this guy's skin and make him not be so cognitively declined.
Well, and the scheduling.
It makes me mad.
The scheduling is so important. You have, with every president, you have different strengths, you have different weaknesses. If
All right, y'all just doing a lot of bloviating, pontificating, all that good stuff. Now, here's a video from about 2 weeks ago from the same network talking about the same thing. Now, I don't know what y'all think you're going to do. You think you're going to talk about it enough and he'll just all of a sudden stop being 80 years old? Let's see what they have to say here on this particular video. And of course, this will be in the box as well.
NBC News is reporting that the White House has come up with a new strategy recently to deal with the age issue amidst poll numbers in our NBC News poll showing 2/3 of voters have concerns about the president's age, something he obviously can't do anything about. Making self-deprecating jokes, though, about it to try to defuse the issue. A new NBC News analysis shows that Biden has been cracking jokes about his age more often than usual.
By the way, I've been doing this a long time. I know I don't look that old, I know. I'm a little under 103.
Now, here's a question. Is that the staff making him say the jokes about himself? Or are they writing like a little comedy routine for him to go out there and say? I mean, maybe he's just trying to address it head on. It's the obvious thing. It's the elephant in the room. Why not address it?
I know I look like I'm only still 29, but think about it. I know I'm 198 years old. After all, I believe in the First Amendment. Not just because my good friend Jimmy Madison wrote it. You say I'm ancient. I say I'm wise. You say I'm over the hill. Don Lemon would say that's a man in his prime.
The new NBC News poll shows 68% of all voters say that they...
He's laughing, but it ain't nothing funny. It's nothing funny. This guy is... Okay, the age is obviously a problem. You're 80 years old. But it is the fact that you're 80 and you are every bit of 80 mentally. You can have some 80-year-olds who are pretty spry and alert and aware of what's happening. That's not Joe Biden, and that is the problem. So you see the poll, you see what's going on right here. Concerns candidate does not have necessary mental and physical health to be president. 68% are concerned. Now, again, that's partly due to his age, but also because of how he behaves. I think John Fetterman would have similar, if not worse, numbers. And John Fetterman is not 80 years old, but he obviously has some serious issues that cannot be ignored.
They are concerned about President Biden having the necessary mental and physical health to do the job. And that includes 55% with major concerns. Those numbers have grown since the 2020 campaign. Donald Trump is only 3 years younger than Joe Biden, but voters seem to be less worried about Trump's age.
Again, because it's not even about, it's the age is one thing, but then when you combine the age with obvious signs of mental decline, when you put the two together, it's like, okay, you're 80 years old, you don't know what's going on, you're falling over yourself, okay, you got horseshoe type things on the bottom of your shoes. Why am I seeing the bottom of the president's shoes? Why is the president constantly on the ground? Those things and your age make for an unpleasant and unsettling and nervous combination for the American people.
55% call that a major or moderate concern.
So yeah, shout out to Trump for not necessarily being the spring chicken, but having a more stable disposition. He's not just out there falling over the place. And remember, the media are so funny. They're just now talking about how old Biden is. But remember when Trump was just gingerly walking down the ramp so he didn't fall and bust his head open. They're talking about, oh, well, you know, something's wrong with the president. He's looking kind of frail out there. It's weird how they'll do that. On MSNBC, they're trying to, I don't know, they're highlighting the age thing, but then they're talking about, they're trying to make it be like, we're ageist. We, the people, are ageist because we see a guy who is in obvious decline. Oh, Trump's not that much younger. They're trying to make that kind of comparison, as if we shouldn't be aware of what we see with our own two eyes. Like we didn't see this man fall on the ground and with his feet up in there like the cartoons. Like we didn't see that. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Mika and Joe for saying something about the age. I know they can't go all the way and say that Joe Biden's not a good president, that he's not doing very well, that the staff are running the show for him. I know they can't say that, but at least they're trying to highlight it a little bit. MSNBC in general, they're saying something about it. They're highlighting the issue a little bit. They're trying to make an equivalent between Biden and Trump, but at least they are acknowledging the obvious that the overwhelming majority of Americans can't help but see. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with Joe Joe Biden's age, and a lot of the liberal mainstream media just now starting to take notice. Are they doing this are they doing it in good faith, or are they trying to just downplay and say, hey, it's not really that big of a deal? The guy you like, Trump, is not that much younger. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think that we all can see that Joe Biden has some serious problems. He's falling on the ground all the time. He doesn't really know where he is all the time. He's looking around trying to find where he's supposed to go. Combine that with an advanced age, I think he's the oldest president ever. I mean, it's just way too much going on. And to have Biden part 2, 2024, say it ain't so, that's not going to work. If he was to win, which I don't think he will, but if he was to win, he would be 86 at the end of his second term. Now, if he's already showing signs of Methuselah, the first man to ever be created, if he's showing signs of that kind of age now in 2023, it's going to be a complete mess as you approach 2028. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.